Hello to all the creators, marketers, and aspiring creators out there in the world of influencer marketing. My name is Rob Eilis. I am the owner of an influencer marketing agency in Los Angeles called Promoture, and I'm here to talk about what makes amazing content on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever the next new hot thing is, that shiny object syndrome sort of thing. So what I'll be sharing over the course of a series here will be, each episode is going to tackle different topics in the world of influencer marketing, whether it is data and why that's important when you should be looking to try to find the right influencers, or if you're a creator and you're just trying to figure out what type of cadence you should have for creating content. It's always about consistency short answer on that. But you need to put in work, whether you're a marketer or you're a creator. This is all about work. It's just another type of marketing, and it's a lot different than a traditional ad buy on Facebook or Google or any other sort of ad platform. We're working with real human beings here, so influencers are unique in the easiest way to say it, because each one's different. They all have different personalities. A lot of them have egos. A lot of them are, trying to figure out like how to build their audiences up and trying to, do anything from clickbait to extreme sort of topics. But the world of influencer marketing really covers it's all about content creation and storytelling at the very basic. So what creators are doing in this space is basically telling a story about themselves, and there's a specific roadmap for every creator and where you start and how you progress. And a lot of it's dictated by what your audience suggests or the feedback that you get from them. Good creators are able to understand that and adapt. So why am I here telling this amongst the other thousands of individuals that are talking about influencer marketing? I may have a different take or perspective on it, and I've worked with a lot of different creators, but I think it always, whether it's myself, the creator, or the brand, it's always been about genuine and being authentic. And that is a cliche term just as much used as the word influencer, but that's really what is. It's very important that your content, it feels real. It doesn't feel like it's scripted to a T, that you let the creator put their personality out there, because that's why their audience is following them, because they love their sense of humor, the professionalism, their expertise. So when you're looking at who these creators are, you're not hiring an actor like Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise. You're looking for creators that are everyday human beings, and you're taking what they do and you're integrating your product so it feels natural. So I'll be creating a series, and there'll be some of the upcoming episodes will touch on metrics, which ones are important, which ones are not. It's changed a lot. I've been doing this since 2014. Worked with a number of brands, everybody from Amazon to Audible to gaming companies, and CPG brands, automotive brands like Stellantis and Jeep. So I've seen so many different approaches and what marketers' goals are in working with creators and how to find success. That's really what it boils down to. That'll be basically metrics will be what one of my episodes will be focusing on. A lot of DTC brands, direct to consumer brands, are finding success with working with influencers on social media. There's a reason for that, is because the average user is spending 3.5 hours per day on social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, etc. The list goes on. So how do you get in front of those people? Influencer marketing has become one of the best ways to do that. From an influencer perspective, what is being an influencer? A lot of people expect, like, I want to make money out of the gate, and I want these brand partnerships, and yeah, that's great, but you need to tell your story. You need to get out there. You need to be yourself. And what your content starts and how it transforms, kind of like this series here. It's going to change as we go down this journey. But as things progress, those creators change and they find out what they're great at, what they're not great at, and that's all part of being an influencer. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't expect to get rich being an influencer out of the gate. You have to provide value for people's feeds. And if you're a DIY expert, if you're a chef, a styling expert, if you're an automotive expert, whatever it is, bring that out as who you are, and people will appreciate that and they're going to follow you. And then another topic that's always popular conversation is most brands and marketers will want to test and see how an influencer performs first before they're really going to commit and do a long-term partnership with them, because it's a little bit of there's a risk. So you don't want to sign into a long-term partnership. Excuse me one second. You don't want to engage in a long-term partnership and then it doesn't go the way that you expect it to go, or the creator is not as passionate about it. So you don't want to be locked in on something. So most brands are usually under the approach of, let's test. If we see great results, let's discuss a long-term partnership. So there's lots of pros and cons for both, but I firmly believe in longer-term partnerships because that content and that brand is married, and then that audience continues to see those products in their integrations and in their videos over a longer period of time instead of like come in and go away. So I'm a firm believer on that. So that's basically what I'll be building here is basically an arsenal of different ways to approach influencer marketing from the creator perspective and also from the brand perspective. So carry on. So what is an influencer? An influencer in its basic form is it's a person who has the ability to influence people's decisions to buy or try products and services. So in the world of marketing, an influencer is they're seen as basically they are a marketing channel for this brand to be able to reach and connect with audiences that they may not be able to get to on their own brand-owned channels. The content of a brand-owned channel rarely performs as well as an influencer-produced piece of content. And there's a reason for that, because people aren't as fond about brands as they are about real human beings. So using an influencer is an amazing way to help encourage somebody that may have never heard about your product or service and want to learn about it, and then look for more information, or if it's one of those non-emotional buys, they're just going to click tap buy and it shows up, in their mailbox or on their doorstep. The influencers are usually experts at what they do. They can be DIY experts, mommy bloggers. Esports gaming is definitely one of the largest growing segments of influencer marketing. Automotive is definitely one area where a lot of people will turn to YouTube and look for reviews on a new car, or how this exhaust system works on this vehicle, or a lot of people will take what other people's experiences are, good or bad, and use that to evaluate their own buying habits. So influencers they're experts and they're thought leaders about what they do and who they are and putting it out there. And if they're not, it's going to come off fake, and their followers are going to call them out on it. And good creators don't take partnerships with brands that are a money grab. So influencer marketing is, as I mentioned, it's word of mouth advertising. It's the oldest form of advertising. And it basically boils down to is we trust our friends and even strangers that we consider friends on influencer marketing media and social platforms more so than we'll trust an advertisement on TV. So it's just it's the evolution of word of mouth advertising, and social media has supplanted our attention to be able to use influencers in that media to then capture and integrate products. there's a lot of influencer marketing has got a lot of bad press over the last 4 to 5 years. Scott Disick, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with one of his infamous posts where he basically took the caption from the agency, copied and pasted it, and put it right into the caption on his Instagram post. And he got grilled on social media for that. The brand still got a lot of exposure out of it, but it's not good influencer marketing. Also, another example is when Kim Kardashian endorsed a morning sickness pill, and she didn't have any disclosure about it being an ad or an advertisement. It was flagged by the FTC, and there was a pretty hefty fine there. Disclosure is very important. Influencers should always disclose that material relationship between the brand and themselves, so that way their audiences aren't misled that they're not being paid for this or being compensated to some degree. That is one of the big benefits of why creators build their audiences, because they want to monetize it. But disclosure is a very big deal. When it comes to the world of celebrities, take The Rock, for example, in his tequila brand Terramana. It's general knowledge that he's the owner of that brand, like Rihanna and Fenty. There doesn't need to be disclosure when the celebrity themselves is promoting their own brand, because it is generally known that they are heavily involved with that brand, and they're not being paid directly because they're promoting it to try to improve that brand's performance. There's a lot of best practices with FTC and what you can and can't say using hashtag ad or sponsored or spawn. Don't use that one. That is not approved by the FTC. I'll have a link below in the description of where you can kind of check in and see what the latest news is with FTC disclosures. So also in the consumer journey, what does influencer marketing and what is its role and where does it fall? It does fall in a couple of different areas. A lot of it is brand awareness and brand building. So it's upper funnel. Most people may not have heard about a certain product or service, and it takes a lot of work for a brand and marketer to get enough impressions across the masses to start to generate sales. So influencer marketing is a lot of upper funnel awareness. So a lot of marketers are like, well, okay, we're all about ROI. We need at least a 5x ROAS, Rob. We need to see this. There's no crystal ball as to how a product's going to perform. So you have to test and learn, and then you hopefully find those influencers who are ideal for your brand, and you continue with them, and the ones that didn't perform, they just go away or you move on. So influencer produced media also plays a very valuable role lower in the funnel as consumers are considering and they're looking for information. They haven't made that purchase yet. They may have hit your website, but they left without converting. So they're going to turn to YouTube and other platforms. YouTube is probably the best one, the best example to use, because of its ability it's a long form media. So you can have a 10 to 20 minute video. Generally, you're not going to watch 20 minutes about a product. You're going to get bored and you're going to leave. But if there's enough information that can be found on a brand new Bluetooth speaker or a backpack, whatever it is, you can find enough information and do that greatly so in 60 to 90 seconds. Sometimes it does take a little bit more work if there's a electronic computer, iPad, whatever the product is. There's a lot more detail that goes into that. So you can do a dedicated review, but most people aren't watching dedicated reviews about a backpack or a specific eyeliner. They'll do a haul. So they'll include a bunch of products that are complementary, and that's what can perform very well. YouTube, the biggest value on YouTube too is its SEO value. Not only can you reach millions and thousands of people overnight, depending on the creators and how you structure your campaign if you're a marketer, but long tail, if you're using keyword search phrases that users are looking for products on iPad review, on a Google search, if you're specific as to like what sort of search terms you use, you tag those videos, you're going to get a long tail stream of users that are going to keep coming in and seeing that video from that creator. And it's going to do, it generally does way better than it does on a brand owned channel. So, there's a lot of levers that you need to pull, but influencer marketing plays a couple different roles in the consumer journey. Also, another buzzword that's used a lot in influencer marketing, I kind of touched on it, is authenticity. It's real and it needs to be addressed, and content should always be genuine and authentic. This industry has continued to evolve and grow, and here in 2021 we're looking at over $13 billion in ad spend across the industry. That's across all the different social media networks, from YouTube to TikTok to Facebook, Instagram, and everything. $13.5 billion. That is a large sum of advertising dollars. That it shows that this is serious, and it's here to stay. It's not, influencer marketing is really, it's not going anywhere. It's only going to continue to mature, and new creators are going to come in, other creators are going to fall off. It's just the nature of the name of the game. So there's a lot that goes into influencer marketing and creating amazing content and campaigns. The next episode that I publish will be talking about metrics. And metrics is audience insights and audience data, what we use here at Promoture. When we work with a brand and they're trying to find the right audience for their message to reach, a lot of times, trying to choose an influencer based on who they are and what they sound like and, how they dress, that can only go so far. You can only hope that returns might be good. You might get lucky, but if you're trying to do something on a larger scale, definitely audience data and metric and the engagement, and not just age, gender, and geo, but more so brand affinity. Does the audience of influencer X match up with my ideal product, my persona for our products? There's a science to it, so definitely I'd say stay tuned in, and tune in for the next episode, because I'll be talking more about that. If you found value in this, and there's going to be a lot more value as I start to share more as we continue on, I definitely follow the Promoture account, comment on the video. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. If there's anything there that you loved, you hated, whatever it is, feel free to leave a comment. If you really love it, share it on Twitter or on Facebook or LinkedIn. I feel this could be very good across LinkedIn if this is something that you really love. And if you absolutely are looking for help, whether you're a creator or a brand, that's what we're here for at Promoture, and I would love to learn more about it yourself. If you're a creator or a brand, I'm very well familiar with how to approach what we could do to find success. So thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to talking more in the coming weeks and months, and we'll continue to see how this evolves. But thank you for your time, and have a great day.